Do you find that that's because of the dissonance between what they believe about themselves and what reality might be trying to suggest to them?
You know, it's such a good question. When you're dealing with personality disorders, in part, it's because of what I mentioned a couple minutes ago, is they get so stuck in their way of thinking, especially if we're thinking of narcissism, because with the narcissist, if they think something, it must be true because they know everything, you see? So then to question that, let's say they come up with, like, let's say they begin to accept that compliment. That's so different than the way they thought about it. But then what does that say about them, right? Because now they don't know everything. And if their whole structure is held together, their whole like sort of psychic structure, their fragmented sense of self is held together by this false belief that they know everything, now it begins to crack sort of the foundation of what holds them together. And in part, that's what makes it so difficult to just accept something of value. And I'll just say one more thing. As I was saying that, one other thing came to my mind. It's also hard to accept those compliments because that could feel good, right? And they could come to like that. So let's say you compliment me and I like that. I may start to depend on you, you know, in a way that I haven't before because I just dismissed what you were saying. It was irrelevant, right? And that's a big part of narcissism too, is they have an incredibly hard time depending on anybody because that means they're not self-sufficient, that they have a need. So these are just a few things that pop to my mind. And then I'll just say one more, just quickly, since you asked. Even on a deeper level, like a more disturbed level, is that they have an addiction to the harmful, hurtful thoughts. Maybe for very different reasons, but maybe it's reminiscent of home. And this is the way they were spoken to at home. So that's hard to let go of because now you're not just asking them to accept a positive thought, right? But you're asking them to begin to separate from one of the only things that they knew, which was what? Home, and the way they were spoken to.